Hello everybody! We have a legendary supercar from the past. This is a Ferrari F440, this is a Scuderia. We have the annual scheduled maintenance. Well, and there are a lot of questions about detailing. Well, and in general, making it beautiful for the upcoming season. But today's story is interesting for those who are interested in car maintenance. It doesn't have to be a Ferrari, but this is the fluid we're going to put in it. I'll tell you more about it in a moment. The old oil change is already drained, but now we have a little story about replacing gasoline pumps. The story for all Ferrari is quite common, because they simply dry up, and then the smell of fuel begins to spread both in the cabin and around. Naturally, this whole story is not safe, because if the fuel gets somewhere in the engine compartment, manifolds in general, it's all very bad. But the most interesting thing is the way Ferrari has structurally arranged the whole thing. It's right here in the rear, left-right, but that's kind of not the most interesting thing yet. The most interesting thing is when I show you what a Ferrari gas pump looks like. Look at that! It's about knee-high! And all the time I'm looking at this thing, I'm wondering how it fits in there. Because it's really big. Because in the Maserati, it's about 40 to 50% shorter. But at least it's a sedan, it makes sense. Here, in terms of space, it's quite limited. But nevertheless, these gas pumps are marked there. And now we're going to put oil like this in. To be honest, I've heard of this, but this is the first time I've seen it. I was in California a few years ago, where I saw something similar. But from the outside, it looks awful, like pouring dairy products into a Ferrari engine. It looks a lot like Ryashenka or Kefir, something like that. Look at how the whole thing looks. But the most important thing, this is the point, obviously, that what they bring us, we pour in. How much these miracles, all these sports oils, they are effective, they are functional. Because I had a relative at one time who had a Geländewagen. But he has it now, but there is a newer generation, the previous generation. He poured AMG oil for a long time for some crazy money, and ended up being disappointed with it after a while. So, as if the oil consumption was as it was, so it remained. In general, nothing happened. Well, and the main question here is how much you should believe there's the manufacturers of such things, whether there will be a miracle or not. Well, write it in the comments. Let's discuss it.